Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Jeanette Byro here. I'm a medium and a channeler. Welcome to your weekday daily card reading where we dive into the cards and see what's in store with a message from Spirit. How are you all doing? It's Tuesday energy. And while I'm giving these cards a good shuffle, I do want to remind you that on Wednesday night, I'm hosting Lightworker Mentorship Open Group Circles. So it's just a once a month drop-in where you can practice your mediumship, intuitive, whatever spiritual connection where you can practice giving and receiving messages. All levels are welcome. So something to consider if that feels aligned for you. You can check it out at avalonspirit.com. All right, let's get into the energy. I am using the Work Your Light Oracle deck this week. And let's see what Spirit wishes to say today. Interesting. Spirit just said Judgment Day. And I was like, ooh, that's kind of a powerful thing. And they said not to be misrepresented. And what they showed me right away was that today has another amplified energy of like clear, concise change. And whether that's within you, where today is a day where you're like, I know what needs to be done. I'm moving forward. I'm doing this. Like whatever that thing is, today is an energy of like clear, concise knowing and a choice point. And it can also be things that happen outside of you that are reflected to you, but in a positive way. So these are things that lead you into greater alignment and connection today. Very interesting. I'm curious. Okay, let's see. And Spirit also said, maintain your spot on your mountain, is what they said, which is like, don't step down the mountain, hold your ground on your mountain, like stay steady in where you are. Now, these are very, very interesting points. Okay, I was just like, which one do I do first? I'm going to talk about this one first because it's kind of that idea of like, hold your spot on your mountain, like be who you are. Because if this card here, it says, share your voice. And it says, come out of the cave, persecution and expression. So hold your space. Hold the space that you occupy, but do so with your full presence. You don't need to hide. You don't need to turn back. You need to hold who you are. Because it makes a difference. And I know I talk about that a lot, but it's so true. You have an allowance today. I mean, you always do. But there's an amplification to you owning the knowing that you have the allowance to stand up and be truly who you are. And I think that's why Spirit is saying there's like a judgment aspect to today. But it's like a judgment within where you're like, yes, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. This is what I think. And whether anything comes from you where you speak it, or you simply just know it within and it changes, both are equally powerful. And these don't even have to be things where you're like, I'm not going to stand up for that anymore. I'm not da-da-da. This can just be this inner knowing within you that you're like, I know what I'm about and I know why I'm here and I know who I am. And man, does that feel good to know that, right? Like it can even just be this inner stance and revolution that is like full within you. I like this says to celebrate. No more hiding who you are. Celebrate who you are. You matter and you deserve to be celebrated by you. So maybe you do something extra special for yourself today. Beautiful. Okay, the next one though that I think is so neat too, with this idea of like Judgment Day and shifts coming in and everything Spirit has been talking about, this next card is The Great Gathering. It says it's all coming together, intuitive hits and soul tribe. This really speaks to everything coming into alignment. And there are so many things, we know this, with the energies, with how fast they're going, with the amount of like alignment, synchronistic things. This is the spirit world really saying like, hey, we're coming in, we're helping to make this happen. Pay attention to what's going on. And it's interesting that this card comes out because yesterday's podcast, if you missed it, was all about animal symbolisms and why they're coming forward. And some of the main ones, but what we should recognize in them and why Spirit uses them. Like It is to show us these alignments. It's to show us what things are coming together. And I really love the presence of these people here that are robed and cloaked, is like that kind of glowing energy on them is like how spirit moves through our world with us. We just don't see them. And it's like this card is showing how many of them are actually present, right? Maybe normally they're invisible and we just see this mountainscape, but now we can see how many of them there really are. And it reminds me of the movie, you know, the movie City of Angels with Meg Ryan and Nicolas Cage. And you know, when they show how many angels are actually moving around the city, and it's like, wow, that's unreal. And they show them on the water's edge every morning and evening. It's like that. We have so many spirit helpers really present with us here in helping humanity change and grow right now. And so it's about recognizing that presence of them, which they have been saying, like, we're bringing you number patterns, we're bringing you dream state information, animal symbolisms, all this kind of stuff, because they want to work on our behalf. They want to help humanity rise, which we are doing. We still have a lot more to go, but we are doing, and they are loving it, and they want to support us more and more. And what I really love is this last card is the Sisterhood of the Rose. It says beauty, devotion, priestess, mystic, and teacher. And this is really symbolic of this starseed nature of all of us, this light worker nature of all of us that are awakening, ascending, growing in consciousness, taking our power back and standing in that beautiful light of consciousness. You could refer that as the priesthood or priestesshood, and I'm not talking religion specific. I'm talking about that gathering of. And that mystic, that inner mystic, that teacher, that essentially at the root of it is when you are in your flow and alignment, you are in flow with all things. And that's what we're coming back to. And we have all these names and terms and ways to describe it, but it's really about alignment. When you find alignment with self, you then can find alignment with the universe. When you're in alignment with the universe works with you like that figure 8. And the energies flow out and come back in and flow out and come back in. And within that, when you take up your space and you own who you are, you also get to take a role as a teacher based on the wisdoms of everything you have learned in your life, because you matter. And what you've been through matters because it makes you who you are. And you can help so many people from that. You can help so many people by sharing other wisdoms, even sharing energy of who you are, being a comfort to somebody, being kind to somebody. It's when you are devoted, I love this, beauty and devotion. When you are devoted to the beauty in life, life responds with more beauty and devotion back to you. And I know sometimes we can look at situations and be like, well, what about this? What about that? What about wars? What about... We can absolutely pick it apart. And I agree. However, if we come back to choosing to find the beauty and devote ourselves to that, even in little moments, and I'm talking little moments. I remember when I was so sick before my surgery and I was in bed and I could barely have a conversation because I couldn't breathe long enough. I felt like a failure as a mom because I couldn't help my kids. All the reasons why I cannot be joyful. And I chose to find something I was grateful for in that moment. And that was a real turning point for me, was in the realization of the beauty of being allowed to be in this position, but to be in a warm, cozy bed. How lucky was I to be able to be in a warm, cozy bed when I feel like this? And that turned it for me, where I was like, look at the beauty in this. And so in those really challenging moments, what can we find beauty in? Maybe it's just a moment. Maybe it's a conversation. Maybe it's a kindness that somebody gives to us by a gentle nod or holding the door open. But when you devote your attention to beauty, it pays back so much more. And I'm talking beauty in the universe, not just material, in moments, kindness, energies, sunrise, sunset, trees, friendships, all of that. Something to consider. What a beautiful message today. I hope you feel that. I feel that so much. I hope you feel that, and I hope it carries you through this day with a little more ease and grace in your own energy. So I will leave that with all of you. Happy Tuesday, everyone, and I will see you all tomorrow.